It's time for a goat house spring clean. Now, I don't have to clean the goat caravan out very often. It's actually been a couple of months, but it definitely needs a spring clean. All of this needs taking out, and we need to clean the windows, clean some of the sides, and just tidy it up. So this is the problem when you don't have a decent hay rack. Basically, if you just put the hay on the floor, it creates a big hay poop mat, which is really difficult to get out, so it's much easier to use straw and shavings. Now I've got my barrel, all the hay goes in this barrel, so it doesn't get trodden down, but it's quite tough to get through this mat. These branches here are from where Humbug, in his very excited state to see me, burst through the window and smashed it. I have got some mesh to cover it with, but I couldn't find the drill this morning. I think Sard might be using it for some taxidermy. So for now, the branches stay, blocking the window, and I'll get the mesh across there as quickly as possible. So the floor is falling apart as well. I will get a big piece of OSB board to put down here, but when they moved into the caravan originally, it was a rush because the winter was coming and their polytunnel had blown away, so I just had to use old pieces of wood to fill in some gaps on the floor. As you can see, it's falling apart. Well, that was just in time, because it's raining quite considerably. Well, one of the reasons for the spring clean is that these guys are getting some new housemates imminently. So hopefully, fingers crossed, watch out over the next couple of weeks and we'll be meeting some new goats. So I've had a couple of questions lately on Twitter about goats and milking, and then also, hello, and then also yesterday, Inspiring Everyday Mum asked, could you talk about the goats a bit more as to how much they actually cost in feed and how much new milk you get, and also what you use the milk for? Also, how do you do registration for the goats? So I thought I would answer. So in terms of the feed, goats do cost more than sheep. With sheep you can just throw them out on grass and really they don't need a lot more supplements. Goats, however, do. They need ad-lib hay all the time. This winter in particular in the UK, hay has been scarce. So I've been paying kind of £3 to £3.50 a bale, and they go through about a bale and a half a week, so it's not been too bad. They also need some additional goat food, and that comes in big 20 kilogram bags, and that cost me about £12, and that probably lasts a month. So in terms of feed at the moment, I'm looking at no more than kind of £30 for these 5 goats. So in terms of milk, my goats, these 5, are all boys. I rescued them from my old job. They were probably going to end up, well, either as pets or they might have gone as meat goats, so I saved them. They're also wethers, so I can't breed them. However, I am intending in the next few weeks to get some nanny goats. I've already ordered them, I know where they're coming from, and I've also got a billy goat coming as well. So as soon as they are here, they will be used as milking goats. Now, many people have asked about milking and selling milk, but in the UK it is seriously difficult to do that on a small scale. That's because the rules and the regulations for selling dairy milk is incredibly high. So I can't just milk these goats and sell the milk. I would need an entire dairy parlour, a milking parlour, a bottling facility, even just to take it to market and to sell it. So it's not something that I'm going to be personally doing. The milk really that we're going to get from our nanny goats is for our own consumption. And in terms of registering your goats, these 5, they are a complete mix of there's some Angora, some Pygmy, some Anglo-Nubian in them. So they're not going to be registered, other than their ear tags, of course. All livestock need their ear tags registration, but in terms of like a breed registration, they don't need one. My goats coming in are pedigree, pure Anglo-Nubians, and so they are already registered at birth, and then we transfer the deed of that goat to when it's mine to me. And then in the future, when I have babies, I just register the babies with the British Goat Society. So depending on what goat you're looking at keeping, basically if you're in the UK, I would go to that breed society group. So if you want Angoras, find the Angora group. If you want Anglo-Nubians, go to the British Goat Society. And they will have details on how you can register. And then you can go on the grassroots system, which is a lineage and genealogy of any line. So I can, when my billy goat comes in, I can go onto grassroots, I can plug his name in, and then I can see back who his mum was, who his granddad was, who his great-grandfather was, etc. But yeah, that's what you need to do in terms of pure breed. Find the society and then register through them. So we've had a good little spring clean. I do need to come back and just wash down some of the surfaces a bit more. And I still need to get my paintings and my portraits of the goats up here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the frames up first and screw them in so the goats get used to nothing being in there and just frames. Because I think if I put stuff up there in the frames, they will eat it. But I think if I can put the frames up first and get them used to it, I might have a 50-50 chance of the portraits staying where they are. And let's keep our fingers crossed that our new goats arrive in the next couple of weeks.